Two swords, two stories. One legendary hero. In the epic of Beowulf, the swords Hrunting and Naegling are more than weapons. They mark the turning points in Beowulf's greatest battles. Hrunting, a blade with a storied past, was lent to Beowulf before his fight with Grendel's mother. Naegling, a king's gift, stayed with Beowulf until his final battle with the dragon. These two weapons serve as silent witnesses to Beowulf's triumphs and his mortality, shaping the narrative of a hero who stood above all others. In this video, we'll explore the stories of Hrunting and Naegling, how they came into Beowulf's life, the roles they played in his greatest battles, and what their triumphs and failures reveal about the hero behind the blade. Beowulf, often regarded as the crowning achievement of Old English literature, stands as the earliest known European vernacular epic. Set in the early 6th century, the poem intertwines historical elements with the exploits of its titular hero. While its exact date of composition remains debated, many scholars suggest it was written in the 8th century. Originally untitled, the epic later adopted the name of its Scandinavian protagonist, whose heroic deeds unify the narrative. Though there is no evidence to confirm Beowulf as a historical figure, the poem references verifiable characters, locations, and events, lending it a blend of myth and reality. The work survived in obscurity for centuries, preserved in a single manuscript known as the Beowulf manuscript, which dates to around 1000 CE. It wasn't until 1815 that Beowulf appeared in print, cementing its place as a foundational text in the study of medieval literature. The epic of Beowulf chronicles a hero's journey through 3 monumental battles, tracing his evolution from a fearless young warrior to a selfless king. Set against the backdrop of ancient Scandinavia, it is a story of triumph, vengeance, and the inevitability of mortality. The tale begins in Denmark, where King Hrothgar's mead hall, Heorot, stands as a symbol of celebration and unity. However, the hall's joyous atmosphere provokes the wrath of Grendel, a monstrous descendant of Cain. For 12 years, Grendel terrorizes Heorot, killing and devouring Hrothgar's warriors in their sleep. Helpless against the creature, Hrothgar watches his hall fall silent. Beowulf, a young warrior from Geatland, hears of Hrothgar's plight and sets sail to confront the monster. Declining the use of weapons, he vows to fight Grendel on equal terms. When the creature attacks, Beowulf seizes its arm in a ferocious struggle, tearing it from the shoulder. Mortally wounded, Grendel retreats to the marshes to die. Beowulf hangs the severed arm in Heorot as a grisly trophy of his victory. Yet, this triumph awakens a new threat: Grendel's mother. The night after Grendel's death, his mother invades Heorot, killing Aeshira, Hrothgar's trusted counselor, and retreating to her underwater lair. Seeking vengeance, Beowulf agrees to track her down. Unferth, a Danish warrior who had earlier questioned Beowulf's courage, lends him Hrunting, an ancient sword with a reputation for invincibility. This act signifies a shift in Unferth's regard for Beowulf, acknowledging the Geatish warrior's unmatched bravery. With Hrunting, Beowulf dives into the murky lake and descends to Grendel's mother's lair. In the ensuing battle, however, the sword proves useless against her enchanted hide. Undeterred, Beowulf spots a giant forged sword hanging on the wall of the lair, a relic of a bygone age. Seizing the massive blade, he strikes a fatal blow, decapitating Grendel's mother. He later finds Grendel's lifeless body in the lair and beheads it as well, bringing both heads back to Heorot as proof of his victory. In gratitude, Hrothgar lavishes Beowulf with treasures, including a royal heirloom, Naegling. The king also imparts wisdom about the nature of leadership and the dangers of pride, a reflective moment that foreshadows the challenges Beowulf will face in his later years. Many years later, Beowulf becomes king of the Geats following the death of Hygelac and his heir. His reign is long and prosperous, but it ends in turmoil when a dragon, enraged by the theft of a golden cup from its hoard, begins ravaging the land. Despite his advanced age, Beowulf resolves to face the dragon and defend his people. Clad in armor and wielding Naegling, the sword gifted to him by Hrothgar, Beowulf sets out with a small band of warriors. When the dragon emerges, spewing fire and destruction, Beowulf confronts it head-on. Yet Naegling, despite its royal lineage and craftsmanship, shatters under the strain of Beowulf's immense strength. The battle turns desperate as Beowulf's retainers flee, save for one, Wiglaf, a young warrior who refuses to abandon his king. Together, they slay the dragon, but Beowulf sustains a fatal wound in the process. As he lies dying, Beowulf names Wiglaf his successor and instructs him to construct a barrow overlooking the sea, where his ashes will rest. The Geats honor their fallen king with a grand funeral pyre and build the barrow as a testament to his heroism. The stories of Hrunting and Naegling mirror Beowulf's journey. Hrunting, though revered, fails in the face of supernatural forces, underscoring the limits of mortal craftsmanship. Naegling, a symbol of Beowulf's legacy as a king, breaks under the weight of his waning strength, reflecting the inevitability of mortality. Yet Beowulf's courage, resourcefulness, and unwavering resolve shine beyond the failure of these tools. Through his battles with Grendel, Grendel's mother, and the dragon, Beowulf transcends the limitations of weapons and flesh, becoming an enduring symbol of heroism and sacrifice. His tale reminds us that true greatness is not found in the tools we wield, but in the spirit that drives us to protect and inspire. Beowulf's story unfolds in a world of chaos and legend, a place where monsters and heroes define the fate of kingdoms. This is a world where a warrior's worth is measured not just by his deeds, but by the weapons he carries. Blades are crafted with care, handed down through generations, and imbued with power, both real and symbolic. For Beowulf, these weapons are both allies and challenges, as he learns the limits of their strength. Two of these weapons, Hrunting and Naegling, play central roles in Beowulf's battles. But in this world of myth and mortality, even the finest swords can fail. Beowulf's story, shaped by these moments, reminds us that a hero's strength comes from within, not from the steel in his hands. Gifted to Beowulf by Unferth, a warrior in King Hrothgar's court, the sword Hrunting holds both symbolic and narrative significance within the story. Its presence adds depth to themes of loyalty, human limitation, and the contrast between material power and inner strength. Hrunting is no ordinary weapon. Described as a blade of great renown, it was forged with runic inscriptions that imbued it with mystical properties. Its reputation stemmed from its supposed invincibility in battle. Its edges never dulled, and its strength never failed. Unferth, who had initially mocked Beowulf's bravery, gave the sword to the hero as a gesture of respect. The gift symbolized a shift in Unferth's perception, acknowledging Beowulf's unmatched courage and strength. In this exchange, Hrunting became more than a weapon. It represented reconciliation and the trust placed in Beowulf to rid their people of a monstrous threat. Beowulf carried Hrunting into the underwater lair of Grendel's mother, preparing to face one of the epic's most fearsome challenges. Armed with the legendary sword, Beowulf descended into the depths, confident in both his strength and the blade's legendary reputation. Yet, in the moment of greatest need, Hrunting faltered. The blade, though steeped in myth, proved ineffective against the supernatural resilience of Grendel's mother. This failure was not only a narrative surprise, but also a poignant reminder of the limits of human craftsmanship and the unpredictability of fate. No matter how renowned a weapon may be, it cannot guarantee victory against forces beyond human comprehension. Hrunting's failure contrasts sharply with the giant forged sword that Beowulf discovers in the lair. While Hrunting symbolizes the limitations of human effort and reputation, the giant forged sword, a relic of a forgotten age of titanic beings, becomes the tool of Beowulf's triumph. This juxtaposition underscores Beowulf's reliance not on tools or gifts, but on his own resourcefulness and determination. Despite its failure, Beowulf returns Hrunting to Unferth without reproach. This act highlights Beowulf's magnanimity and his understanding that heroism is not defined by the tools one wields, but by the character and will of the one who wields them. Though it does not achieve the legendary feats attributed to it, Hrunting remains a crucial element of the Beowulf narrative. It serves as a narrative device to test Beowulf's adaptability and strength, and as a symbolic reminder that even the mightiest of tools have their limits. The sword's role invites reflection on the nature of heroism, suggesting that true greatness lies not in relying on external power, but in facing challenges with courage and resolve. Naegling is a significant weapon in the latter part of the epic, serving as a symbol of honor, legacy, and the inevitable limits of mortal strength. Presented to Beowulf by King Hrothgar as a reward for his heroism, Naegling represents the culmination of Beowulf's journey as a warrior and leader. Its eventual failure in his final battle adds a layer of poignant symbolism to the tale. Naegling is described as a regal and powerful sword, fitting for a king and a hero of Beowulf's stature. Its blade is broad and strong, with intricate engravings and runic inscriptions along its length that suggest both its craftsmanship and its storied history. The sword exudes an aura of authority and strength, befitting Beowulf's role as both a warrior and ruler. The sword Naegling is gifted to Beowulf by King Hrothgar after his victorious battle against Grendel's mother. More than a weapon, it is a token of gratitude and recognition, signifying Beowulf's status as a champion of the Danes. As an heirloom, it also connects Beowulf to a lineage of noble warriors, underscoring his responsibility to uphold the ideals of leadership and bravery. The sword's most pivotal moment occurs decades later, during Beowulf's final battle against the dragon. Now an aged king, Beowulf wields Naegling in a desperate attempt to protect his people from the fiery beast. However, the blade fails him, shattering under the strain of the battle. This moment reflects the fragility of even the most trusted tools in the face of overwhelming odds, and the inevitability of human mortality. Naegling carries layers of symbolic meaning in the epic. Its grandeur as a weapon aligns with Beowulf's larger-than-life reputation, yet its failure in the climactic fight serves as a stark reminder of human limitations. Even for a hero as mighty as Beowulf, no weapon or earthly force can completely stave off fate. The sword's breaking also mirrors the passage of time and the toll of age on Beowulf himself. Just as the once reliable blade falters, so too does Beowulf's strength begin to wane in his final moments. Naegling's failure underscores the heroic resolve of Beowulf, who continues to fight with unrelenting courage despite his diminishing resources. While Naegling does not secure Beowulf's victory, its role is crucial in defining the hero's character. Its failure does not diminish Beowulf's bravery, but instead amplifies it, as he perseveres even without the aid of his weapon. The sword serves as a narrative device to highlight Beowulf's humanity and the inevitable decline of even the greatest heroes. In the end, Naegling becomes a symbol of the fleeting nature of worldly glory and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Beowulf's legacy, like the sword itself, is not in its unbroken state but in its use during moments of ultimate sacrifice and duty. Through Naegling, Beowulf reflects on the intersection of heroism, mortality, and the indomitable will to protect one's people, even at great personal cost. In Beowulf's world, swords are more than weapons. They are symbols of status, legacy, and divine power. Forged with care and handed down through generations, they carry stories as enduring as the warriors who wield them. A blade's worth isn't just measured in battle. It's tied to the lineage of its owner and the tales it inspires. Hrunting and Naegling are markers of key moments in the hero's journey. Though both blades fail when Beowulf needs them most, their stories add depth to his legend, highlighting themes of resilience, mortality, and the limitations of human power. Hrunting and Naegling exemplify this tradition. Hrunting, with its reputation for reliability, reflects the trust and doubts of its owner, Unferth. When it fails in Beowulf's fight against Grendel's mother, it reveals the limits of human craftsmanship and the unpredictable nature of combat. Hrunting's failure in the underwater battle against Grendel's mother forces Beowulf to rely on his own ingenuity. It is a pivotal moment that underscores his strength and adaptability. The sword Naegling, by contrast, is an heirloom of royalty. Its presence in Beowulf's hands during his final battle represents the weight of leadership and legacy, even as it ultimately breaks under the strain of his last trial. Naegling's breaking during the dragon fight mirrors Beowulf's own decline. As a king facing the end of his life, Beowulf's greatest challenge isn't just the dragon, it's the inevitability of his mortality. These swords stand alongside another legendary weapon in the poem, the giant sword Beowulf finds in Grendel's mother's lair. Unlike Hrunting or Naegling, this blade is supernatural, forged for beings beyond human comprehension. It succeeds where mortal weapons fail, underscoring the theme that some battles require more than earthly strength. The significance of swords in Beowulf also reflects the values of Anglo-Saxon culture. Swords were treasures, often adorned with intricate designs and inscriptions, crafted to endure both in combat and in memory. To lose a sword in battle was to lose more than a tool. It was to risk the loss of honor and lineage. Beowulf's encounters with Hrunting, Naegling, and the giant sword highlight the balance between human effort and fate. The failures and successes of these blades reveal a truth central to the epic. It is not the weapon that defines the hero, but the will and courage to keep fighting, even when the steel breaks. The legacy of these swords lies not in their craftsmanship, but in what they reveal about Beowulf himself. They reflect his courage, his humanity, and his ability to face the unknown without the tools in his hands. In a world where heroes and monsters clash, the true strength of a warrior isn't in his weapons. It's in the will to keep fighting, even when they fail. Hrunting and Naegling, though both legendary, serve distinct purposes in Beowulf. Hrunting underscores the themes of trust, failure, and resourcefulness in Beowulf's early trials, while Naegling highlights the weight of legacy, mortality, and sacrifice in his final moments. Together, these swords illustrate the evolving nature of heroism, from youthful triumphs to the ultimate acknowledgement of human limitations. Beowulf's unwavering courage, even when his weapons fail, cements his legacy as a hero whose greatness transcends the tools he wields. If you enjoyed this journey through the epic world of Beowulf and the legendary swords that defined his story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tales of myth, legend, and heroism. Remember, like Beowulf, even when the tools we rely on falter, it's our courage and resolve that define us. See you in the next adventure.